Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about multiple myeloma. So as the word you are seeing multiple, it means so many, and myeloma is the malignant, that is tumorous cells that develop in the bone marrow. So together this term multiple myeloma is development of so many malignant cells in the bone marrow that forms tumor, or that is on the whole called cancerous cell. We'll see what is multiple myeloma. So these are the cancer of plasma cells. Plasma cells come from B lymphocytes and produce antibodies, that is immunoglobulins. Myeloma cells produce abnormal immunoglobulins, that is overproduced monoclonal protein or paraprotein. Ineffective immunoglobulins leads to decreased bone marrow function, destruction of bone tissue. So this multiple myeloma is a plasma cell that is produced from the B lymphocytes, and B lymphocytes are produced by the bone marrow. So these are acting as a negative towards the body, and that forms the cancer in the human being. We'll see the definition. Multiple myeloma is a neoplastic plasma cell disorder that is characterized by clonal proliferation of malignant plasma cell in the bone marrow microenvironment, monoclonal protein in the blood or urine, and associated organ dysfunction. So this multiple myeloma is multi, that is so many, and they develops and proliferate of you have seen here the term proliferation. This means they migrate and get transmitted, or you can say they get spread to other parts of the body, and so they cause multiple organ dysfunction. So on the whole they are multiple myeloma, and they will spread and start developing in the near about organs, or start to cause infection in the other body parts. Then we'll see the causes and risk factors. So here in causes, it's not known for sure. That means the cause is idiopathic, unknown. Decline in the immune system, that is someone's immune system is weak, so they are having more chances of getting multiple myeloma. Then biological factors, that means if in the family someone is having, so it is having hereditary disorder to get on the another person. Then certain occupations, like persons active working in radioactive factories, then wood cutters and so on. Then exposure to certain chemicals, exposure to radiation and viruses. So these are the causes. Then we'll see the risk factors. So age above 60 are having chances of getting this disease. Then exposure to pesticides, that is DDT. So the farmers, those who are using this pesticides to spread on the grains that you are using, so if it is excessive in use, so it can cause multiple myeloma to them also, and the person, those who are consuming those food particles, they can also get affected. Then radiation, wood, leather, sheet metal and nuclear industry workers. Then exposure to petroleum products, that is benzene. Then Kaposi sarcoma herpes virus, presence of IL-6 and HHV8. So the person those who are having this get exposed to this virus, they are having chances of getting the disease condition. Now we'll see the clinical features, what you are going to notice in the patient symptoms. So these symptoms are pain in the lower back, long bones or ribs, then generalized malaise, that is very you can say common weakness, infections, fever, bleeding, symptoms of hypercalcemia, that is nausea, fatigue, thirst, then symptoms of hyperviscosity, that is headache, bruising, ischemia, neurologic symptoms. Ischemia is decrease in oxygen supply in the blood. Then other neurologic symptoms will be seeing peripheral neuropathy and meningitis. So these are certain symptoms you'll be seeing. Other than that, you can see other symptoms like hypercalcemia, thirst, polyuria, abdominal pain, acute chronic renal failure, chronic nephritis, recurrent infection. So these are other associated features, except in that you can notice. Then we'll see here in the diagram, there are certain common sites where this multiple myeloma commonly develops. So these sites are skull, spine area, mainly thoracic, lumbar and vertebrae, then pelvis, long bones, spinal cord, compression can occur. So these are certain bone which mainly get involved in the multiple myeloma. Then we'll move to the diagnosis. So certain diagnostic procedures which can be carried out are that first is history collection and physical examination. It is very obvious. Then complete blood count and differential. Complete blood count, you will be trying to know about the total blood elements and try to know about the B lymphocytes and immunoglobulins. Then biochemical screening. Then serum protein electrophoresis. In serum protein electrophoresis, they will try to use the mechanical technique and try to differentiate in electrophoresis they will try to separate the serum and protein different. Then routine urine analysis, 24-hour urine for electrophoresis, immunofixation, serum free light chain assay, bone marrow aspirate, and trypsin biopsy. So these certain tests will be done for the characterization of monoclonal protein, to know about the presence of protein in the human body. Then we'll see there are certain common tetrad of multiple myeloma, that is CRAB. That is when these all tests will be done, we will be noticing for the certain important things. These are increase in calcium level, then renal failure, hemoglobin level that will show anemia, and bone lesions. So this four things will confirm the diagnosis of the patient that the patient is having multiple myeloma. Then we'll go for the treatment. In treatment, we'll move for the general measures. In that, control of pain, we'll go for the pain management. We'll try to suppress the pain of the patient through supportive therapy. Then we will be giving supportive treatment like fluid electrolyte balance. Then limb fracture, plaster splint surgery will be given, and vertebral fracture bracing and surgery will be done. So in general measures, we are going to do symptomatic treatment to the patient according to his need. If he is having pain, we will try to reduce his pain. We can use any of the technique like medications, gyrational therapy, and spiritual therapy as the patient needs. Then we'll go for the supportive treatment. In that, we'll be giving fluid electrolyte balance so that the patient's body will be hydrated and he will be little energetic. Then limb fracture, will be giving the support with the plaster splint. So in severe cases we can go for the surgery. Same as in vertebral fracture, we'll be giving bracing for the support, and we can go for the surgery as according to the need of the patient. Then we'll move for the other treatment. Since it is since it is also a tumorous cell, so we'll go for the chemotherapy. In that, melphalan is a drug of choice. You'll be giving melphalan if the patient is going for chemotherapy. Then melphalan is an alkylating agent. It sticks to one of the cancer cells DNA strand and stops replication. So as you are seeing here, this melphalan, what is that? It gets stick to the DNA strands and does not let it multiply. You have already seen the term multiple myeloma, that means it multiplies. So with this administration of this drug, it will stop the multiplication of those cancerous cells, that is DNA will not multiply. It is often used concurrently with vincristine, prednisolone, and cyclophosphamide. So these are other chemotherapy drugs to be used. Then 6 to 12 cycles of chemotherapy are given, the duration between 2 cycles being 3 to 4 weeks. Since this chemotherapy is always very painful, so 6 to 12 cycles of chemotherapy are given to reduce the causes, and maximum it is given between 3 to 4 weeks of duration. Then we can go for the radiotherapy. It is applied only in cases of solitary plasmacytoma. So in very severe cases only we'll go for the radiotherapy. So in today's class we have seen about the multiple myeloma, that is development of multiple cancerous cell, that is B lymphocytes in the bone marrow. Then we have seen about the causes and risk factors and clinical features. In clinical features, we will mainly see what are the symptoms occurring in the patient, that is increase in calcium level. Then we'll go for the other pain. Then we'll go for the diagnosis. In diagnosis, we are seeing the common tetrad that will confirm the diagnosis, that is increase in calcium level, renal failure test, kidney function test. Then we'll see the hemoglobin level that will show anemia, then bone lesions. Then we can go for the diagnosis. And diagnosis, the main treatment will be depending upon the cancerous therapy like chemotherapy and radiation therapy. So that's all for the today's class. Thank you to all the students.